Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Yeah, walaikum salam. I'm fine. Thank you very much. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. I just
That's
wanted
great.
to let you know that this meeting is being recorded,
Yep.
and we also have my colleague, Mr. Mr. Shahid Javed, with us here as well.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and you
Sorry.
can, reply to them in the best way
Yep.
possible.
Yep.
Okay, so the first question is, can you please define recognized prior learning, which is RPL, and state how it is used during the assessment process?
Okay. Do I have to answer right now?
Yes, please.
Do you mean that how I carry out the planning of the assessment?
Yes.
Can you please
How do
just repeat it
you
again?
do it? Okay. So the question is, define RPL. Okay, so recognize prior learning, define it, and then let me know how it is used during the assessment process.
Okay. Um, See, to the plan, when I plan the assessment, I first, review the unit specification. For example, if the unit 40 number, unit number 43. So I'm just assessing this one, looking at the assessment criteria. Then also I'm making the unit specification as well. Like, what you can say, what's the document name? I just forget about it. It's just another extended the guideline, like the scenario planning and everything. So, and after this one, I just look
Okay.
at into the learning outcomes of criteria, pass, merit, and distinction. So, and give the guideline to the learner that how they can align their coursework according to the learning outcomes.
Okay, and how do you use what's RPL and can you define what it is? Can you tell me what RPL is? Recognized prior learning?
Yeah. For example, at the same time, we just looking at their practical part. If they are just writing the coding as a website designing, and at the same time, we are looking at their coursework, that how they develop it. For example, how they're bringing their practicality into their own work, like while they are producing their report as well at the same time, especially for the practical oriented kind of units like the game development, like the website design, like the prototyping. So this is how it parallelly is learned.
No, do you know what RPL is? Is when you recognize prior learning that someone has already done a certain unit, so you do
Yeah.
not assess them again on that unit again. So can you please tell me about that?
Yeah, if someone has already done the unit and then uh, we are assessing if they just want to improve their grades, only this one, again, we provide them another feedback. So if they have got a resubmission, so they can just go with this. I hope that I'm trying to satisfy the question.
That's no. So, do you know what recognized prior learning is?
Um, I need a little bit
Recognizing
clue of
prior
this one.
learning, RPL. So
Hmm.
basically, for example, when you joined the Kava course, we made sure that you don't have any assessor course before. But if you had, if for example, unit one from before, then you wanted
Yeah.
to enroll in the Kava course, we would have said, oh, we can skip your Kava unit one because you have already done unit one separately in this other course. So we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
skip unit one for you. So that is us recognizing your prior learning and not reassessing you on the same thing again. Does this make sense?
Oh. Yeah, yes, yes, I got it. Yeah, this is what, I think we did discuss this in the class as well. That, for example, if someone has already possessed these
Yes,
skills
yes.
and this knowledge, so we cannot do the reassessment of this one. I got it now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So can you tell me how how would you do it in your organization center? How would you do it for your learners?
Let's say if they have already this
How
kind
do
of skills, so we are not emphasizing like the repetition of information. Let's say, for example, if they're going for the
yes.
simple website design, and we think that they already have got the HTML language skills. So we are just moving
Hmm.
further for this one rather not spending a lot of time again starting from
Yeah.
scratch and over again repetitively the same idea. So
Yeah.
what we are just doing it, we are just going a little bit
Yeah.
advanced than this one. For example, the new technology we can embed it. Okay, guys, let's move forward for the advanced technologies like the CSS
Yeah.
cascading style sheet, or we can go with the JavaScripting. So rather than wasting a lot of time into the basic repetitive over and over again, so once we assess the class is fine, absolutely fine, they already have got these prayer skills, so we can just move forward. So this is what we just really have to check it, being an assessor, that our class is so
Yeah.
comfortable. And for example, in the very first interaction or the second interaction, when we engage them onto onto the laptop to ask them to please write something, if we are satisfied with seeing that everything is fine, we move forward. This is
Yeah.
the way that what we are just doing it. I'll just give you practical example, for
Yes.
example.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. So, yeah, it's basically recognizing that, um, that someone has already done this before. It just increases learner motivation and confidence that they don't have to
Mm.
constantly repeat time, and it
Exactly.
reduces obviously time and cost and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
The next question is, how would you adapt the assessment process for learners with physical needs, literacy difficulties, and language differences? Let's start with physical needs.
Yeah. For example, if someone have got a physical problem like epilepsy, we just need to take extra care of it. Uh, I can see that two or three students I have already taught them. They are basically the epilepsy student. So we just need to sometime I need to understand that first of all what is their prayer knowledge. Okay. If they need more time, we are just providing them more time to them. If we just need to simplify more to break down structured WBS of the whole of the learning outcomes, we are just explaining them and making a special guideline for them so they can just do it slowly, smaller pieces of work, and then they can build up the whole of the work. Rather than we are asking from the very first day, pressurizing them, looking at their physical needs, we know that maybe they will be a little bit slower, they may be slow learner. So we are just giving them, okay, we will go step by step, task by step. So step by step, task by task, and then breaking down into smaller pieces. So, okay, we are now also appreciating it. Oh, yeah, you have done a very good job. Now you have produced a very first code, and congratulations. So let's move forward to the next step, and let's move forward for the another navigation bar, for example. We're developing the website. So
What
this is
about
how we are encouraging.
accessibility?
Sorry, the
Yeah,
accessibility
well, what
is,
about like, yeah,
yeah, please.
how would you do that for
See,
physical learners with physical needs?
yeah. See, for example, in the classes or in the computer labs, we really have to look at the inclusivity. This is our own
Hmm.
idea, and then we are just making sure that everyone is engaging well with the computers, screens, or the special kind of mouses or keyboard that what we can provide it according to the need. So our college, they also have got these facilities. Our IT department, they are providing them these accessibility. For example, if they have got the blood vision, or they have got some the weaknesses, or some other kind of disability they have it. So we are just providing those tools according to them, according to
Hmm.
their
And what about the
the physical
location?
needs.
Hmm. And the
Yes, location
location.
is obviously
What if
that they are
somebody
coming.
comes on a wheelchair?
Yeah. So we do have some dedicated places for them. And then it's not like this, I will be bothering to ask to someone else. I will be just going and getting closer and sitting down, closer to the student, and definitely will be helping
Yeah,
them.
we just have to basically make sure that the wheelchair is being accessible everywhere and they have
Yeah.
space to move around and
And
stuff.
we do have these facilities. Yeah. So from the very beginning, from the lift
Okay,
chair to the reception to the classrooms, we have dedicated
that's
two
excellent.
spaces for the disabled student. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about assistive technology?
Sorry again. What about it?
Assistive, what kind of assistive technology would you use for them?
Sometime maybe if they have got a problem in in hearing, so we do have the hearing aid as well. That what we
Hmm.
are just providing them, and we also try our best to accommodate them as much as they can. And if they're bringing their own devices, we are just also very much flexible into this one. So
Hmm.
whatever it
Voice
is,
to text
they're under treatment.
softwares,
Yes, software.
screen
Yeah.
readers.
The
things.
screen readers, yes, exactly. Yeah, we are
Yes,
providing them.
type
It
like that.
depends on that what kind of physical conditions or needs are there. So
Yeah.
definitely our college
Okay, so what
is,
about literacy? Somebody with literacy difficulties. What would do we, how do we help them?
as I said it before, that we will be just giving them more help, more assistance to them, making simplify for them so they can just start with the smaller pieces of work. Not rather than
Okay.
just to give them a whole of the learning outcomes and then
Yeah.
telling them all of the assessment criteria and taking them into very deep ideas. So we just need to have to
Hmm.
look at it that what is their level of understanding and how much they can digest it.
Yeah, okay. That's good. And, give them a bit more leniency in their
Exactly.
written and spelling and grammar work.
Exactly.
And there's also, give them extra time. Yeah, I think you mentioned extra
Flexibility,
time.
flexibility. Yes, this is
Yeah.
in the Unit 1 coursework as well, that we are providing some a
How
bit more
about,
time. Yeah.
sorry, please go ahead.
No, 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 it's all right. Providing more time to them, accommodating them. And let's say if a shortage of, for example, they're doing the PSN exam, you know that it's
Yeah.
already we are providing them 24 hours sometime, very long period of time, and then we are just breaking it down into 2 or 3 days. But still, we can feel that some students are they're very slow, and then we are providing them a little bit more. Time uploading the files and not rushing to them. We understand that this is their need, or maybe they are slow learners, so all flexibility is with them because we just want them to succeed, to
Yeah.
get successful into that
Yeah.
particular unit. So this kind of facilities that we definitely we are providing them. We are giving them more flexibility, more room, so they can just in a very what you can say in a very relaxed environment. So there is no pressure on them, so they can just do their exam and they can submit it
Yeah.
at
Okay.
their own
And
easiness. Yeah.
language differences?
Again, the language, sorry.
What about students with language differences? How do we help them?
Yeah.
People who have English as
We
a second language?
it- yeah, exactly. We do have these kind of challenges. Sometimes this is how I handle the situation. I don't know how the other people they are doing it. For example, we have got some bunch of students from the Russian.
Hmm.
So Russian students, they really have a difficulty in
Yeah.
speaking English. They are understanding it, but they cannot speak it. They cannot express
Hmm.
it, or sometimes they don't understand it. So they said it. They said, "Sir, we are just very new at the moment. We are trying to understand it, but." Sometimes the teacher go very fastly, so you have to slow down. This is the very first suggestion. And second thing is that can we use a device so whatever you say, we just do the translation into our own language? I said that you can just go for this one.
Yeah.
And also, if it is a very difficult language, sometimes very technical jargons over there, like the business language or IT languages. So we terminology, so we are just
Yeah.
making it simplify them so they do understand it. For example, we are
Yeah.
saying you have to be a computer geek. So they will be just looking at it. What does it mean by the geek? So we can just tell them to have to be computer
Yeah.
expert. You must have to be skilled. So this is how we can just make it more simplify them. So we just make sure that
Yeah.
everyone is on the same page. All of students from the different background, for example, Arabic language, from Russian language, from other languages. So they're all sitting down in one classroom, and in one set classroom, everyone is on the same page, and then they are going parallelly. This is what we just want to make sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you. That's a great
Okay.
answer.
Thank you.
It's great to see how you're supporting your learners. That's very
Yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
So let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ready?
Yes, 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 please.
If you want to take a break, drink some water, whatever, you let me know in the middle, okay?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what are the benefits of standardization?
Can I have got some clue of the standardization means? Can you please just do simplifying it for me, please?
You know how standardization in the assessment, it kind of refers to the process of like ensuring consistency, fairness, and accuracy in how assessments are planned, and how they're delivered, and judged across the different assessors, learners, and settings. So
Exactly.
basically, I'm asking about what are the benefits. So it ensures fairness and consistency.
Yeah, the first of all, the learning outcomes and the unit has been designed by the expert. So we just really have to follow those standards. I mean,
Yeah.
we cannot deviate from here and there, because
Yeah.
the unit specification means that what they have enrolled, and then they must understand all of the learning outcomes and under the assessment criteria. So we cannot deviate from them. For example, I just want to mention over here that the standard thing is that the student, they must understand the front end technologies. Okay, so the back end technologies will be a little bit flexibility if we can go with or not, but they say must, they must learn the front end technology. So we are more focusing on the coding, more focusing on the front end, the interfaces and everything. So it means that we are following the learning outcomes. So, and also we are just giving them a guideline. We are looking at all of the coursework. Otherwise, if it is an open set of questions, so they can just give the lot of example, they can integrate a lot of other things as well. And sometimes they say, can we go with the already built template website? But the requirement is that they don't have to use those builders where they can just go with a drag and drop environment. So they just have to follow the instruction. They say clearly that every student will be write a piece of code by themselves, and then they will be producing the different kind of website, the different designing. It means that we have to engage them into the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScripting. So we cannot ask them to please go with the drag and drop environment. We will encourage them to learn the language and develop the website on their own. So this is how we
Yeah.
are following the
And
standardization.
yeah, so basically you are making sure that all learners are assessed against the same criteria and in the same way, right?
Exactly, exactly.
What about biasness and judgment? There's different subjective judgment sometimes across different assessors. So how do you
Yeah.
ensure that there is fairness and consistency?
Yeah, being an assessor, I think we should not go with the biasness or unconscious biases. Unconscious biasness, for example, we can see that the student come from the OA level. He's more sharper than other student, and he seems that
Mm.
he has got a very good communication skills. He can speak a very good English language, so he will be a very quick learner. But believe me, I have seen some of the examples, even from the native speaker from the England when I taught them.
Mm.
So I realized it that this was an unconscious biases, not that they are good in English, so they will be very good in learning as well. But they were very slow learner
Yeah.
as compared to the learner that they have the different language. Their English was not their first
Mm.
language. So we should avoid this one.
Mm.
The very first thing, unconscious bias is not. Second thing, not the favoritism. Yes, all
Yeah.
students are equal. They will be equally balanced. They will be equally looked at it. And yes, we know that some students, they need more assistance. They will be asking repetitively same question over and over again. But we just need to understand it, why they are not understanding our explanation. Maybe my way of explanation is difficult, a little bit more difficult for them, or they just need a more WBS, like the work breakdown structure, or they need a more time. So they sometimes they are very good in speaking, but when it comes to the writing, they are not into this one. They're not very good into this one. There is no enthusiasm. There is no, the passion in it. We just really have to push them to produce a 5,000, 8,000 report. So because that's a requirement of this one. So what I'm trying to say is that we really need to understand every individual student requirement as well, but at the same time, all the students will be treated equally.
Mm. And how do you guys have standardization meetings where the IQA does meetings for all the assessors, making sure that all the assessors are on the same page? They're all making sure that the assessment quality and it maintains assessment quality and reliability.
Exactly.
It builds the assessment process. Do you have these standardization meetings in your
Yes,
organization?
yes, we do have it. For example, the internal verifiers and
Yeah.
the supervisors, they always look at the work, and then they just want to make sure that all of the works and the grade, they are been clearly, I mean, they have been fairly given to the students. And they look at the quick marks, they look at the comments, they look at the feedback. So just want to make sure that all of the students, that sometimes, students, they claim by themselves
And
nowadays,
the
for example.
support assessor development.
Exactly, exactly. So they're just asking us to please, we have to follow these standards, and then we just need to make sure that all of the students are equally treated and equally assessed. So there is a thing. For example, sometimes
Okay.
there are some of the flaws. So our internal verifier, they tell us that I'm afraid maybe this particular learning outcome has been assessed so strictly or not fairly, or it's over exaggerated, like over marks has been given to them. So just look at it, this thing again. So this is how definitely so double check is over there.
Okay, great.
I just need a little
Okay, I
bit
think
break,
you've
please,
answered that
for
question.
5 minutes, please. If you can just give me the break for, or just only for 1 minute. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah, sure. You can take a break for 1 minute.
Okay.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, moving on. Let's move on to the next question, which is what are the benefits of standardization?
Okay.
Can you?
It ensures that assessment decisions are fair, they are
Mhm.
reliable, they are consistent, and across the different, the assessors and the learners. As we already mentioned in our theoretical part as well, that we review the multiple learners. For example, in the game development, we see that sometimes they just don't have much skill that we just really need to enhance it on, and we have to review the multiple learners game development assignment and align our grading by referring back to the BTEC assessment criteria as well, that whatever the assessment criteria under the learning outcome. So this avoid basically leniency or the harshness and allowed us to the cross-check borderline cases. So it also helped the new assessors build confidence and then improve my own judgment. So as a result, the students basically they across the different groups felt they were graded fairly, regardless of who marked their work. And also that we also have the internal verify after our grading. They're also looking at it. We also have got the meetings on to this one, where we are just maintaining these standardization meetings as well.
Mm. And how about you mentioned before that ensures compliance with awarding body requirements?
Yes, with the PSN, for example, they have this whatever the set requirement have. For example, some exams they are should be under surveillance of the teachers. They have to monitor the thing. They just need to all of the proofs and then how they're doing it. So this is how we are just going with this one, and then a strict guideline that whatever the learning outcome and the assessment criteria, so we are just aligning their work. We just want to make sure that we are following all of the standards that have been provided from the PSN. And this is how they are just looking at every after one semester. They also just check with their SV, and when it comes up, they just look at the work, how the grading had been done, how the feedback had been provided to the students, and what was their enhancement, how politely it had been given to them. Is there any
The
favoritism,
fact
biases,
that
and so
the
on?
assessments
Yeah.
are fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
assessments are fair, they're
Exactly.
consistent,
Exactly.
accurate. Yeah, that needs to be checked.
So it has gone through to the many
Okay,
stages as well.
great.
First you do it, and then internal
Yeah.
verifier, then external verifier, then SVs. So they just want to make sure that everything is, the aligned with the learning outcome, then assessment criteria.
Okay, good. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
What processes are in place in your center for completion of the learner's qualification?
At our centers
What's the
and many
process in your
others,
center? Yeah.
yeah, I have seen in many other centers as well that the learners begin with an individual learning plan, and they are tracked through a digital portfolio system. For example, the portal systems. Assessments are submitted, internally verified, and stored with a clear feedback. So I make sure that the feedback is should be specific, should be precise, should be measurable, and the learners they are given opportunities for the resubmission if necessary, so they can just improve the grades, or they can just see that what were the discrepancies. So they have been always provided another second chance as well. So once all the units are completed, the IV checks, internal verify check, samples work for the quality, they lead IV signs off, and the results are submitted to the PSN again. And throughout we maintain an audit trial of the learner submission, feedback, and the observation notes.
Okay, that's great. And after the final verification, there is certification.
Yes, there is.
Yeah?
Because
Yeah. Okay.
first we grade, and then ID, and then the SV from the PSN. And then once they approved everything, so the course, they send it for the passing criteria, and then they are just giving the certification. But going through all of the standardized things, that this is what it is happening. I mean, there is a step by step everything that what we are just doing it. But we
Yeah.
just want
So
to
this
make
is the
sure that
process in your center.
exactly, yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, good. It's nice. Okay, moving on to the next question. Basically, with regards to regulation and good practice,
Yeah.
what are the requirements in your center for, equality, diversity, bilingualism, health, safety, and welfare? Do you want me to tell you one by one, or should I tell you all of them and then you want to,
Mhm.
or
Okay,
how do you want to do this?
it's okay. I mean, if you just want me to answer it, I can just start it, or you can just give me one by one things, so I can just go with it.
Okay, so tell me about equality and diversity.
Yeah, equality and diversity, we just want to make sure that all of the students, they are equally treated. And we just need to make not only the environment that is only specifically for the good students or the bad student, it should be inclusive. As I just mentioned it in our theoretical part as well, that we just look at, we have to think that way. Some of the students, they have got a physical needs, maybe they have just a little bit low learners, slow learners as well. So we just need to maintain the equality over there, regardless of background, the religion,
Mhm.
the color, everything. In our class,
Yeah.
all the standard is equal. Yeah,
Okay. And we avoid discrimination and
exactly. Discrimination,
uh
yes. Unconscious
okay.
biasness. Yeah.
And what's diversity? Do you know what diversity is?
The diversity, I mean, the different background people, they're coming from the different schooling
Yeah.
system, from the different
Yeah,
areas, from the
perfect.
different continents. So we just work together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, and bilingualism?
Bilingualism, for example, if the students, I mean, they have got the other language, they're not the native speakers, so they're coming from the
Mhm.
different
How
backgrounds.
do we
So
support them? Like, what's good practice in your center?
the good practice is that sometime, as I said it, that they also have got their own translator devices as well. Sometimes they just don't do anything, but they just want to
Yeah.
willing to do this one. So with the support of these translators, and also we are just simplifying the words for them. As I said it, that the terminologies and some kind of the
Yeah.
jargon that what they're using it. So we are making it more simplified them in a basic, simple English, so they can understand it. What does it mean? What exactly they have to do it? Yeah. And
Yeah.
also we follow the
Perfect.
GDPR by storing learner evidence securely, and also discussing learner performance with the authorized staff. And we also provide them all of the guideline that we just want to make sure that our class is inclusive. No students is behind, and everyone is on the same page. They are all running parallelly.
Okay. What about health, safety, and welfare?
Yeah. First of all, we just
How
want to
do you
make sure
maintain
that
good practice?
yeah,
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
want to make sure that the classroom and the labs, we are providing them a very safe environment. That
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen in my own labs we have with the fire extinguisher as well. And then if there is any spark in the electricity, we have to inform to the IT. There are all set kind of instructions already been labeled by the IT department. If there is anything happen, just call to the IT. There is a helpline number. Call to the main reception, so they will come for the assistance. And also the teacher, they are aware of these all guideline and instruction. So we try to maintain the safe environment as much as we can. For example, their seating, their tables, their computer appliances, and all of the electronic devices. And if they really have to involve into the networking lab, we just make sure that we just connect to the networking lab, because it should have to be very cold environment. We should not make a lot of noises, and we should not unnecessarily touch all of the cables. So we are just explaining them. So three or four set of students, we are just taking not all of the class into the networking lab, where we have the servers. So we do have the other devices as well. So we are just letting them know how we can handle them and how this operations works. So we
Yeah, and
just want to make
ensuring
sure
emergency procedures.
the emergency procedures as well. But at the same time, when they are just also assembling the computers, we are just also ask them to please go with the just put their feet onto the electromagnetic mats and the special kind of gloves that resist the electricity. So this is we in every step being the
Oh, that's
NSS
nice.
when we involve them. So we are just making sure that we are providing them a
Right.
safe environment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so how about reasonable adjustments? How do you do it with the,
The reasonable adjustment.
learners who have,
Madam, your
you
voice
could
is a little bit not clear to me.
say,
Your voice is not clear. I can't hear you. I,
dyslexic or something.
I
Okay,
can't
now?
hear you. I can't hear you because your voice was a little bit shattered. Yes. Can you please just let me know
Is
again
it,
that what you were saying?
yeah, is it better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you now. Yes, it's better now.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I was talking about, how do we do adjustments into the assessment process for students with, learning disabilities, for example, give them extra time. They can have
Yes,
assistive
yeah,
technology.
exactly.
How do we help them?
Yeah, for example, if someone have got an accessibility problem, so we or have got a blurry vision or have got a uh, visionary problem, so we are just providing them the screens as well, the special keyboard that has been designed for them. We, first of all,
Yeah.
in the very beginning of the enrollment, we ask from the guardians because most of the students they are under 17 or a little bit up to the age of 18. So we are
Mhm.
just asking them to fill up the form if they have got any kind of disability. So we can arrange all of the equipment to support them, to help them, to adjust
That's
them.
great.
So and but
Mm.
within the classroom setting, so they will be also feel comfortable. They also have a special mouse, for example, they need it.
Yeah.
So we can just provide them. Because we believe in inclusivity.
Yeah,
So
and we
as
can
much
make
as
sure
people that they
this
can
way.
come. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So we can adjust them.
Yeah. Okay, so and what is the appeals procedure in your center?
Again, please.
How is that?
Again, can you
The
please repeat?
appeals procedure when a learner can challenge the assessment decision
Yes.
if they think that, the assessors are being unfair. So appeal procedure is basically the learner can actually challenge the assessment decisions.
Yeah.
Does that happen in your center? Do you have an appeals procedure?
Yes, it does happen when students are not satisfied with their grades, so they can just appeal it. They just have to fill up the form, and it will go to the college program leader. So they will be just looking at this one, and first of all, the request will go to the instructor and the
Mm.
internal verifier as well. So they both will
Yeah.
look at the decision, that what decision have been made and on which ground. And what is the objectionable thing that why students is not satisfied with
Yeah.
his or her grade. So we will just
Mm.
look at those points, and then definitely we will arrange another session with the student face to face, me, my internal verifier, and the student. We'll sit together and we will tell them that these were the discrepancies, and this was the thing that was lacking the thing, and that was the thing that way he lacked it. So it wasn't, the work was not aligned. So maybe he has provided over information, but that was not relevant and aligned to the learning outcome and
Yeah.
assessment criteria. So we
Yeah.
can just explain them, your work is good, it's really good, but here we didn't require that information. We were looking forward for to go with the more the critical approach, and then get the feedback from the client or from other students. So where we can just look at the responses and how do you enhance it. So rather than you are focusing on to this point, you are giving another explanation. So here, and also maybe in the practical part, we are looking forward for the 2D gamings or the 3D games. We just let them know that we told every student to use these three or four particular engines. So, but they just use another platform. So that's the reason. I mean, they just did the drag and drop without putting a lot of effort. But at the same time, they say, okay, we have done this part. So why we have not given the fair mark? So at that time, instructor and internal verifier look at it. If it's still not satisfied, being satisfied, it will go to the supervisor of that college again, like the program leader. They will also look at it, and then we will give the individual decision. they will look at it, that why the students is claiming that it's not being fair. So here, this is how the procedure goes on. On the very first step, usually I see that
Okay.
the student, they get satisfied and then they look at their own mistakes. So, and then they get satisfied, okay, this is our problem. And we understand it was not, my information is not aligned or justified with the learning outcomes and assessment criteria.
Yeah, that's great. We just wanted to make sure that you know what the appeals procedure is and
Yeah,
how it's done and they follow it well in your center as
exactly.
well. So very
Exactly.
good. Okay, so data protection and
Mhm.
confidentiality. How do you guys maintain that?
So first of all, we just want to make sure that all of the students' data will be, always be kept in the password protected files. And we do have the special storage for every semester that where we are keeping the work. And we just want to make sure that it remains confidential. And only the teacher and the program leader, they will be having the access to those files, not all of them. And then also, whenever we just want to speak with the student in the classroom setting, we are not opening up the whole of the dashboard in front of them and just pinpointing that this is their mistake, because I have seen personally, I have felt that some students, they really feel very kind of, the embarrassing. They feel that why my information has been disclosed to all of the classroom, even if I'm getting married. So I was looking forward for the distinction. Why it has been, leaked out into the public. I mean, I so we are just calling every individual and making sure that only this person, the student, he knows or she knows that what it is, the whole of the evaluation, what is the formative feedback, what are the discrepancies, what are the weaknesses, so they can improve further. So here we just want to make sure that the students, all of the information will remain confidential, and we are not talking in public. We are not allowed to speak someone's grade with someone else. So this is basically, we just want to ensure that all of the information is secure. And as I said, that all of the
Yeah.
assessments
And
have been kept into
digitally,
the dedicated folder. Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
and it's locked and password protected.
Yeah. Also protected. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so moving on to the next question. This was all question number 4. Here's a long question. So
Okay.
now moving on to the next question is what are the roles of the internal and the external quality assurer, and how do they affect the assessor and learner? So first you tell me about the internal quality assurer, which is IQA, and then you tell me about the external quality assurer, which is EQA, and then you basically tell me how it affects the assessor and learner,
Okay.
the roles of
Basically,
the IQ and the EQA.
okay. So you're asking the roles of the IQ and EQA.
And the
So
EQA, yeah.
yeah. So the internal quality assessor, basically, they check the consistency and they look at the fairness. And they will look at that the work has been aligned with the learning outcome, with the assessment criteria. They will also look at the unit specification as well. Before they are just going to look at it, even though they have never taught this course, they will definitely will be demanding bring this unit specification where all the information has been crafted, so they can find the assessment criteria, they can find the learning outcomes, and then they will be looking at this whole of the work and my for being my assessor, my feedback, my quick marks and comments as well. So they identify the areas for the improvement. For example, after my first observation, the internal quality assurer, they guided me to provide more detailed feedback linked to the merit and distinction. So they should know that why they got the
To the
merit, why they
assessor.
didn't get the distinction. So this is internal quality assessor. They're doing it.
No, the
Yes,
internal
sorry.
quality assurer gives feedback to the assessor, right?
Yeah, to the assessor, not to the student.
The IQA gives,
To
yeah, to
me,
the
being
assessor. Yeah,
me
yeah,
an
yeah. I
assessor.
just wanted
Yeah,
to make sure.
exactly. So they will be, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah.
they can tell that you provided the passing criteria feedback, but you did not provide the feedback of the merit and distinction in detail. For example, they should know that why they didn't get the distinction grades and why did they get merit. So this they should differentiate it into this one, that what are still there are the discrepancies, so they can just cover it up what they have done better in future as well, or they can do better in the resubmission as well. Yeah.
Okay, so
So this is, for example, for the
assessor.
IQA, this is what we were just talking about.
IQA
Yeah.
for the assessor. Now tell me IQA for the learner. How does it affect the learner?
I QA to the learner. IK
Yeah.
also they just identify if there are some of the mistakes or there are some of the discrepancies. They're also just writing the
They
feedback.
basically make sure if the assessor is, if they assessed their learner fairly and accurately.
Exactly. This is what they just want to make sure.
Yeah. They protect the learner's right
Because
to, make
sometime
sure
we can
that
see
the
that the
qualification
coursework,
is valid.
yeah, and sometimes you can see that the coursework has been submitted just like a thesis, just like the master's thesis, like 20,000 words. But we just need to see the content. It's not like the
Oh.
number of words. If we need to see that if it is aligned with properly with the learning outcomes and assessment criteria.
Mm.
If it is not that into aligned, doesn't matter if it is a very large work. And sometimes we just also asking them. So if you're just like writing this 18,000,
And
20,000
feedback.
word, yeah, for
They make
example,
sure
for
that the
this,
feedback is.
exactly, exactly.
Okay, so moving on to the EQA.
IQA, you mean? EQ, sorry.
IQA
You
we're
mean
done,
the
right? We did
external
the
quality
external
assurer.
quality
Yeah.
assurance.
External
Yeah.
quality assurer from the awarding body ensures that the national standards are met. And during
Yeah.
a, for example, from the PSN, usually we hold it, or for NCC or SQA, the Scottish Qualification Authority. They just want to make sure that their national standards are met. And during the EQA visit, my documentation, all of the assessor documentation and assessment judgment, they will be reviewed. As I told you that we have that standard
Yeah.
visit as well, SVs, and we are receiving encouraging comments on learner engagement and evidence mapping. Or sometimes we also have got some of the
Yeah.
critical analysis too. We just need to look at it. Maybe there are still some of the things that we just need to cover up. We will not say that 100% we are
Yeah.
getting the whole of the very good and excellent feedback. Sometimes we also get it, but sometimes it's a little bit also
Hmm.
discrepancy. They add something into this one. That these are the things that we really have to look at
Hmm.
this point. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. And what about the
So they
effect on
also
the
provide
learner?
us the assessment judgment. Sorry again.
How does the
I'm sorry.
EQA affect the learner? Can you hear me?
I think
Hello?
I think yes, yeah, I'm hearing you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I was
So
just saying
basically, the
that
EQA. Yeah. Yeah. I can hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. Please carry on.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. So the EQA basically ensures that the qualification is credible, recognized, and quality assured,
Yeah,
protects the learner's rights to appeal. They can, they have the right to appeal and they can raise concerns in case of something or, be they're being disadvantaged somehow.
yeah,
Okay. That's what the EQA does for
yeah,
the learners.
yeah.
Okay, so we can move on to the next question.
Okay.
So explain how you would support a candidate who was not competent during an assessment and had insufficient evidence.
Your
How will
voice
you
has
support this
almost gone
candidate?
between this one. Now your voice is okay. Yeah, please.
Okay, okay. So basically, the candidate or learner who was not competent
Yeah.
during an assessment and had insufficient evidence.
Okay.
So how are you going to support this learner?
Yeah. There are two things. First of all, we are monitoring their work. We are observing their work. This is the very first thing that what you have to lead all the way to the whole of the semester. Secondly, I am always providing the formative feedback at least once or twice before their final submission. So we just want to make sure that these are the discrepancies. Please improve it. And we also help them. I provide them a more guideline. And when a student initial submission, let's say, even though in the final submission, it doesn't meet the, for example, P4 and, for example, the M3, or for example, like the merit in any of the unit. So I didn't mark it as a fail, but instead I arrange a one-to-one feedback session where we discuss that what is missing, what was missing. I use a model and a screenshot, and then to help them visualize that what evidence was required. Then I help them to create an action plan with their clear step This is what they have to do, it improve the work before the resubmission. So this supportive approach helped rebuild their confidence and ensure the learning continued. For example, if someone has already developed the game, but they are unable to put all the information about their game, what they developed, into their learning outcome number 3 and 4, so it means that they are
Mm.
not qualifying for this one. So here we are encouraging them to please bring more screenshot and step by step, how did you develop it, and give us all of the information so it can clearly align with the learning outcome number 3, because it's a testing the game, and give us the critical analysis of this one. And then you can have to write down, for example, that what was the problem that you faced it, what problem you identified, and how did you find the solution. So here we are encouraging the students not to write the just very journal generic information. Please write down that how did you develop it during that development process, that you have to write everything, because that is a requirement of learning outcome number 3 and 4. So this is again, there is a one-on-one session where we are just telling that this information is fine, but this is unnecessary, or this is incomplete work, and if you can just put point number 1, 2, 3, 4 into this one, definitely that you are qualifying for this one. So this is
Mm.
not a discouraging, but indeed it's an encouraging feedback to them. As I said it, I provide them
Encouraging,
an
yeah.
action plan
It
and
motivates the
yeah,
learner.
motivation. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. A supportive
Mm.
approach. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying you provide them an action plan?
Yes, I provide them the action plan.
Hello?
I create an action plan for them with a clear steps
Yeah.
to improve the work
Mm.
before their resubmission. It means that they
Okay.
still have got another
That's
chance
good.
for the resubmission.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We can move on to the next question, which is now you evaluate yourself and carrying out assessments. How do you evaluate yourself? Self-evaluate yourself basically while carrying out assessments. What do
Okay.
you do?
Madam, your voice is not clear, but I got your point. But please, can you tell me that you can hear my words?
Oh,
Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
You asked that
Yes,
how
you
I
are.
evaluate my own assessment performance, isn't it?
Yes. How do
Okay.
you carry? Yeah.
So let's say after
Self-evaluation.
the observing my assessment session, the feedback I received is, let's say, let's say it was very positive about my subject knowledge and learner engagement. However, I always advise to ask more probing question to confirm understanding and to record these interaction better. I reflected on this one, and I practice ask open-ended question, especially when checking understand of the tools like the Unity or the game makers, or there are another 3D platforms. I'm just giving you some specific example because I just recently taught the gaming development courses. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
example, Adobe XD. So I also improved the clarity of my own written feedback to include the links between the learner evidence and the criteria. So these improvements basically help me grow into a more confident and a consistent assessor. I always evaluate myself, that looking at it, that is that I'm just really evaluating fairly according to the learning outcome mentioned and the assessment criteria if there is any
Yeah.
discrepancies.
That's excellent.
So that's the
Yeah.
thing also has been double checked by the IV as well. So whenever we are just receiving their feedback, so we also look at it that what was discrepancies in my own
Yeah.
assessment performance. Are we really fair, or we are just
Hmm.
not have been very lenient, or it was not justifiable grading to the student. So this is the thing
Yeah.
that what we always have to look at it. And as we already discussed about the equality and the to maintain the balance within the all of the classroom setting, so and inclusivity, so we are always looking at it that not even a single student they should affect it. Rather we are just make sure that they are also learning, not producing a 10,000 words of the report, but they're also learning, and then they should justify it in their own word that what they have done so far practically. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's good. I like how you self-evaluate yourself. That's hold on. My screen is, yeah. Okay, so that was good, and that was the end of our professional discussion.
All right.
You've answered all the questions really well. It shows that you have clear understanding. You're doing great work as an assessor, and as a teacher. And yeah, I wish you all the best.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for your time,
Thank you.
and
Appreciate.
I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Bye for now.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, so that went well.
All right. तो ये बेहतर था
Yeah.
पहले से?
हाँ, बेहतर था, more
चलो.
confident था. अब आप confident थे ना ज्यादा, और
Yeah,
आप
yeah.
एग्जांपल्स दे रहे थे, वो कर रहे थे. It's good. अच्छा
Yeah.
था.